Well, hello, my friend, and welcome back to another episode of Legacy Farm, the podcast. This is your host, Jace D. Young, and today's topic and discussion is this: chaos and anxiety. So today we are going to be discussing a really kind of a personal matter and situations and things like that I've been dealing with over, the past 6 years of being an entrepreneur and just kind of the phases you go through as a business owner. And this is also going to be relevant to, all the farmers and ranchers and ag business owners listening to this podcast. This is relevant to where all of our members are at when they first come into Legacy Farmer. And for a majority of us, when we're starting our business, let's be honest, it's chaotic, right? There's chaos everywhere. There's stress everywhere. There's anxiety everywhere. And we want to solve that problem. I was no different, right? My first 2 years after leaving the bank, I was trying to figure out how to be an entrepreneur. I was trying to figure out marketing and sales and advertising and people and teams and processes and systems and product development and how do I actually lead people to the results that I want to help them get. And there's a lot of transformation that has to happen throughout that process. And ultimately, when you're in those modes right there, you look at your life, it's nothing but chaos. It is nothing but stress. It's nothing but anxiety. Then you add in the family side of it as well. So not only do you have chaos inside of the business aspects of your life, but we can all agree here, if you have young kids or you have kids in general, when you're trying to raise kids and be, a good parent and a present parent and just raise good kids in general, there's different challenges that comes with that. There's different stress that comes with that from building a business. And, when you're running a business and trying to navigate all the family dynamics and challenges that come into your life, you ultimately have to increase your capacity to handle more and more problems and keep your cool at the same time. That's what I mean by that is increasing your capacity to handle all of the problems, all the situations, everything that's going around you, including everybody else's emotions, and keep your shit together and keep it together. Be that solid rock there that everybody knows that you just have it on point every time, right? You got it together. You're the solid rock that your family can lean on, that your team can lean on, that everybody can lean on. So, but here's the deal though, is as a business owner, we ultimately want to get to an area in our life where we have, something that's not chaos and anxiety, right? And constant stress. And here's what's interesting is over the past 4 years of me building Legacy Farmer, guys, we've really focused on building our team, and we are a very systems and processes oriented type of team. We are very efficient. We run a big business. We take care of a lot of customers with a small team and a core group of tool sets that we use, softwares and programs and things like that. So we're very efficient when it comes to our business and our operation. Make sure all of our members are taken care of, make sure they're all getting value, make sure they're all getting the results that they want. Now, it took me a long time. What seemed like what was going to take forever to figure out all of these systems and processes and how I could ultimately create a business where it wasn't nothing but, stress and anxiety, right? And chaos. I wanted something that was peaceful. I wanted something that was systemized, that was process driven, that didn't require me all the time. And here's what's crazy, guys. Here's what's crazy. And all of our members want the same thing, by the way, right? The whole point of Legacy Farmer and what we do here is we help our members systemize damn near every area of their business. And we especially focus on the financial side, but we also focus on the team management side, the family side, the entity structure side. Like we help them systemize and streamline their entire life, right? But again, we have an emphasis just around financials as well, because a lot of our members, the first thing that we do for them right away is help them get their finances organized, learn exactly where their numbers are at, and we go in and we start renegotiating interest rates, renegotiating loan structures, and we free up, anywhere from $20,000 to $60,000 in cash flow just for our members, literally within the first month or two, right? And that's what we want to do, right? We want to the investment that they're making here, we want it to pay for itself, 2, 3, 4 times in the first 3 to 6 months that they are here with us. So we spend a lot of time just kind of figuring those things out. But a lot of our members, again, when they first come in, you got to think about where you've been even in your personal life. When I think about, the first couple of years, 2-3 years after me leaving the bank, it was nothing but chaos. I guess really it's been the past 5 years, right? 4 or 5 years with kids and the business and everything. But really the past year to 2 years, I've really started to experience that level of freedom, right? That level of peace and quiet that I wanted, and, not constantly running around trying to figure out and solve the next problem and the next problem and the next problem. And I understand, guys, a business is nothing but a game of solving problems, right? In business, if you have your own business, then you're opening yourself up to solve problems, right? And what's crazy is when you get into a program, when you get into figuring out systems and processes, that mitigates the amount of problems that you have to now solve on a day-to-day basis. Some days you have zero problems to solve. Some days your team just does what they do, and you literally can do whatever the heck you want. Now, what's interesting is as a business owner, we become accustomed to chaos and anxiety. That becomes our normal, right? That's our day-to-day normal. We wake up and all of a sudden, like, we're ready to go, and it's going to be chaotic, and it's going to be, we've got a lot of stuff to get done. Everybody's running around and things like that. And we want to escape that. Now, what's interesting though, and I'm sharing some personal experience here, and I'm sharing some experience from some of our members as well, because a lot of them have been in the program for a year, 2 years. They've gotten systems and processes in place. They've figured out a lot of their, financial problems and gotten those holes taken care of and those problems taken care of. And now they're at this point in their life where they do have some peace, and it's kind of slow and they don't have a lot of things to do because they've systemized and put together processes for their business, and they have their finances in order. Their loans are structured correctly. They're getting the best interest rates. And all of a sudden now, it's not chaotic and there's no anxiety, right? There may be a little bit, but not to what their normal was before they got here. What's interesting, though, is as a business owner, not having that chaos and anxiety in itself can create chaos and anxiety inside of you internally. Because here's the deal, guys. Even though a lot of a lot of us, I guess I'll say a lot of us, even though we do not love the chaos and anxiety, we get tired of it, we get burned out from it, it's ultimately the thing that drives us too. And it's just kind of this interesting dynamic to where I'm having to get used to a new normal, and our members are having to get used to a new normal where we actually have time. We have systems in place. We have processes in place. We've given ourselves time. We don't have all these problems to put out every day today, and our team's structured and organized, and everybody knows what they're doing, and that frees up a lot of time for myself and our business owners. And it's kind of interesting because it's a whole new world of challenges there, because you're no longer needed like you've been needed inside of your business for a long time, right? It's pretty peaceful. Like, you got things lined up, you got things systemized, you know what you're doing for the week. Your team knows what they're doing for the week. You know where you're at financially. You're making decisions based off of facts and data, not just how you feel in the moment and based off of emotion. So it's just this new dynamic, and it actually brings its own set of challenges because you were so conditioned and so used to the chaos that you've lived in for a long time. And I haven't figured this out yet. It's this new world that I'm in as well. It's like, okay, since I've gotten all these problems and all these challenges solved inside of my business, where do I need to spend my time now? Well, and it's kind of interesting because, back when I was first starting the business, there was no time to be patient, right? It was quick decisions and making things happen and getting this done and getting that done, getting this done, getting that done. I'm sure you can resonate inside of your ag business or farm operation. But then you get to a point to where, again, you have systems in place, you have processes in place, you know your numbers, you're profitable, money's flowing into your bank account, you have excess money sitting there. And now it's like you're at this point in your life where you can be patient for the first time. And it's weird because it's this whole new world that myself and our members are stepping into because we have everything so systemized. Now, there's really good things about it. I'm just kind of sharing some of the challenges because it's like, man, trying to navigate this new world now when all I've known is chaos and anxiety and stress and trying to figure out how to get this business to where I want it to be. And now it's where I want it to be. And now for our members, it's where they want it to be. And you enter this period where it's like, man, okay, what do I do now? Like, literally, what do I do now? I don't feel as needed or anything like I did before because I've just systemized the heck out of this thing and got processes in place and trained my team and everything's working out really well. So I'm telling you, it's where you want to get to. Because now you don't have the financial stress. That's the big one, is like, you get these things in place and you don't have the financial stress anymore that you're accustomed to. And that's a good place to be. It's more about, what do I do with my time now, right? I freed up my time. What do I do with my time now? And what's crazy is it gives you the ability to start looking at different things that you can add on to your business to make it more profitable, expand your family operation or whatever that is. And that requires patience. Right. And that's what I'm saying. That's what's different from in the beginning when you're first starting your business is everything's chaos and you're just running around and you're trying to get things done. You don't have systems in place yet. You don't have processes in place yet. And so, yeah, you're just used to not being patient with anything because you didn't have to be. And now you have that choice to be. And the thing is it's just getting used to this new world that you're living in, because now the decisions that you make, since you do have this time and this patience and systems in place and money in the bank account, those decisions now are a lot more strategic and they're a lot more calculated and they require more patience. And again, this is a good place to be. I'm just telling you, there are some challenges there though, because you're stepping into this new world. A lot of our members, when they first come into Legacy Farmer, they're stepping into a whole new world. It's challenging for them. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is challenging because we're changing everything that they've been used to doing for 10, 15, 20 years and trying to get things systemized so they can get to this place where a lot of our members that have been in the program for over a year now are at, to where they have time and they have systems in place, processes in place, money in the bank account, and they can be a lot more strategic and patient about the moves that they're making inside of their business. And it's a blessing and a curse at the same time, because again, you want the chaos, you kind of thrive on the chaos and the anxiety a little bit, but at the end of the day, we all know that that's not sustainable. We all know who we can turn into as people, as husbands, as fathers, as mothers, as wives, and as parents when we are operating in that place on a day-to-day basis. And I can definitely look back at my life and, man, there's some times where I took out, the stress that the business was putting on me. I took it out on my kids, and man, I regret those days more than any. And I'm still not perfect, still do it every now and then. I think we're all humans. We're all going to make mistakes. I definitely have made my fair share. But again, you want to get to that place to where you conquer this new world where you can be patient, where you don't have to overreact, where you don't have to make quick decisions, and you can be a lot more strategic with you. But I'm just sharing this podcast with you to let you know that there's even a challenge to get there. And there's different stages of business. There's different stages of life. And a lot of you right now, you are still stuck in this place where your business and your life is nothing but chaos and anxiety, and not in the good way. Not in the good way. You have the financial stress there at a big level. You don't know where your numbers are at. You don't have a tax strategy in place. You don't have bookkeeping systems in place. You don't have entity structure in place. You don't have a legacy plan in place. You don't have anything in place yet. And I'm telling you, that's a really bad place to be. And that's why we'll continue to see hundreds of family farms fail every single year, because the families never invested in themselves and their knowledge and their skill sets and their networks to figure out how to get those things in place. But even after you do get those things in place, there's even more challenges after that. But again, these are good challenges to be in because you have the money, you have the systems, you have the processes. It's really just a challenge of being patient, being strategic, being calculated, really thinking through things, because for the first time in your life, you have the time to do that. So my friends, I just wanted to share that with you. I hope it helps out a few of you. I know some of you guys listen to this podcast, you're in the same situation I'm in, and I'm just trying to figure out how to navigate it. It's a new world, and I can be more patient and strategic. And again, that's just a different world for me. And I got 4 little girls at home, and so it's still chaos there, as you can imagine. And but it's all good. So anyways, my friend, I hope you found value inside of this message. I hope it makes some type of impact in your life. And that's all I got for you today. I'll catch you on the next episode.